Hello, my name is Latoya Toya, and I'm going to be debunking this myth that the game of Nikki has been retconned. And by doing so, I hope to educate a lot of people on what the word retcon actually means and the difference between the old and the new
just be careful.
versions of the start. So when most people tell you about how the start of the game is so different from the current start of the game, they reference this little opening where Momo's showing a dress because Nikki has to go to the prom. She has a date. She doesn't have a date. And she wants something to wear to go to the prom. And they're going through all of these outfits, which turn out to be the outfits that she is going to be using in the start of the game. By doing so, people want to elicit this emotion. Oh, look how cute it is. Look how darling it is. And it's true. It's a very beautiful and powerful scene, as you're seeing in the background right now. They find the threads of reunion, and the threads of reunion does what the threads of reunion are supposed to do. The threads of reunion are to bring Nikki to the seer. And they do that. That is what happens. As soon as she goes up there, she finds the other outfits, then she finds the threads of reunion. They hold her hand in exactly the same way that the seer holds her hand. And you will see it countless times throughout their meetings. When they hold hands, it's exactly like this. The dress does exactly what it's supposed to do. So I'll let it finish rocking so you can see, because it gets really important from this point. Now, most people will finish the video here and be like, oh yeah, it wasn't that great. But the bit that makes it not a retcon is right after this bit. The bit that comes up, and you're going to see it for yourself, because it's plain to see that as soon as Nikki wakes up, which she's about to do now, she is in this place. This is the place that Ina, the curator, lives or is imprisoned, or however you want to interpret it in your own mind. This is where she wakes up, and she wakes up at this exact spot with these flowers, wearing this dress, and you can see her. She's getting up. Look at this. Remember this view, because this is very important where she wakes up right now. And I will explain that to you later. But I also want you to see the full tutorial, because people want to elicit an emotion about this tutorial, and I want people who haven't played it to actually see the whole tutorial. I'm a very bad player. Well, yeah, I'm a bit better now, but this was back when I first started playing, and I'm not very good at mobile games. But I'm gonna be quiet for now so you can just see through the tutorial, see how that works. And I want you to take in the view, because you're being shown the view a lot. So take it in, and you can see in the background, that's the jumping bit that you're going to be doing later, so you can see where you're heading. That right there is where you're heading to. So I will let the tutorial play, because I want you to, like I said, see the actual journey.
The path ahead is fraught with challenges. Feel the presence of whim, then unleash the power of the floating outfit and leap over the obstacle.
If you haven't guessed by now, the mysterious voice that's telling you to come is Ina, the curator. That's not a hidden secret, because we're not going to meet her in this video. in this part of the video anyway, so I might as well tell you that if you're going to be curious at the end, like, who was that mysterious voice? It is just Ina's voice. She's calling to Nikki to come.
That was close, but still,
And I really do miss this kind of target of where she's going to fly to, because I am so bad at this. But this is no longer a part of the game. Sorry, I paused there to take some pictures. I remember. I don't have these pictures anymore. But look at this view. Look at what happens here.
It must be. Looks like the sea of flowers is greeting you, Nikki.
And you should take note of also this place. Because this place is really important. This area right here is very important
to deal with it.
in Infinity Nikki. Now, like I said at the start, well, closer to the start, this is the bit that you can jump over, that you could have seen in the distance. I am not gonna actually go into the tower because I actually only played through this to take the pictures of the threads of reunion. So this is not actually completed. I didn't know this game was going to start over at the beginning, so I didn't bother to get the full thing. So it stops about here, and I go off and take some pictures of her in her very pretty dress. And yeah, that's what happens here. So now I want you to understand that the next bit I'm going to show you is not a video. It's a series of pictures that I took. And this is after you've completed the majority of the game. And it will show you, well, it's showing you right now, what happens if you want to get the Silvergale outfit. You get teleported right back here, and Ina, who's free, is sitting at the exact tree that you saw. This tree is still there. Ina is still here. And this was before the so-called retcon. She was still here at that tree that I told you that area would be important. And you can see her prison behind. That's still there. We came back to this area after we finished the game, essentially, and meet Ina again right back where we started. And that is the importance of what I'm trying to say, because when we will meet Ina again at the start of the new start, this is exactly where she's going to be, right in this area. And you can see here you get the Silvergale feathers to make the Silvergale aria. So remember, I told you to remember this bit. Well, now we're playing for it. This is the exact area that you are sent to start the game. So you're not starting the game from a completely different point. You're just missing the attic scene. Because the attic scene has already happened. You've already come here. You've already saved the seer in your previous life, in your previous run-through, in the run-through that the older players have done. You've done that. She's free. She's not stuck in the tower, and you cannot go back to the attic and start your life from there. You're starting your life from the end of that world and being brought back here to the starting point, which is meeting the seer again. And I'm going to let it rock. I'm going to let you see what happens, because it's the more or less the exact same tutorial, and you're going to see it right now. And when people say, oh, it's a retcon, no, it really is what she says, a restart
at the edge of the border.
This person seems pretty strange. Should we follow her?
I don't think we have a choice. We need to cross this to keep going.
So there we go, being level 3. And here's where you get a first wind star. Instead of, if you were originally, you would get it coming through the cave. You get it here. And then, now is the important part. You will remember this bit. Yes, you jump down and all the flowers bloom. You're right back where you essentially started in the very first version of the game.
Looks like the sea of flowers is greeting
Nothing
you,
has
Nikki.
changed apart from you missing the attic scene. There is nothing that says here, oh, the threads of reunion. The threads of reunion have been taken from us. No. They've already done their job. They're still in the world. There's no reason to just believe that they're gone because we've already used it and it's done its job. When it comes back again, I don't know. I can't tell you that. But I have no reason to think that the threads are gone because I've already saved the person I was supposed to save with that outfit. And all of the miracle outfits have their thing that they need to do. And I think a lot of people are confusing it because they're maybe older Nikki players in general and they're kind of bored of the Sea of Stars. Some people are loving it. It's nostalgic, and I think you have to look at it in what the seer says when you meet her again. She says that the outfit ties together the old and the new, and I think it's a good representation of literally the old games and this new game, as well as the old version of Nikki and this new start that they're having. So you have to think about it as a representation of that change. And if you want to see that conversation, it's in another video that I've done, or I can repost it if somebody wants to read that. But you can just read it yourself just by starting a new game yourself, and it's completely free because you just start the game and it literally just walks you through the tutorial and all of that information that you need right there in the tutorial. You can find this information for yourself, but some people want to make a fuss about the retcon, which doesn't exist, by the way. Like, I'm proving it right here in this video. There is no retcon. There is just a new starting point, which is the end of the playthrough. Like, once you get the aria, this is the point where the new players are starting from. Yes, they go back to the start and they do Giovanni over again. But if you are an older player, you've read through what she said about Giovanni and his saying about his many lives. You've played through Giovanni's storyline, so you know why this is happening. And if you haven't finished Giovanni's storyline, or you decided I didn't read all of it, or I was too excited and I skipped most of Giovanni's storyline, you can go back and play that. But you can't just assume that it's been retconned because you didn't read or you didn't understand the full story of why Giovanni did what he did or what he was trying to accomplish.
Whoa, that dress rules.
Please, no retcon. It's just a starting point. And this starting point is literally this. This is the tree. It's literally because you cannot have those events again. Those events where we made Marquez Jr., have a huge glow up. The fireworks event, all of those events are gone, and we won't be able to get those events back. So that is all it is. It's just a new start, people. And it's not a new start as in a completely new start. It's a new start at the end of the game that we've played through. And you'll hear it here. And then I'll let you have a nice day.
Wishfield in Mirrorland. That is where you are to go.
Who are you?
The heart of infinity. How it stirs the echoes of the past. The gift I bestowed upon you at the dawn of all things. Nikki, please accept the willful request of a goddess. Go forth and change the fate of this world.
So thank you everyone for watching, and I hope that this educated you in some way, and that from now on you'll source your own information rather than just listening to hearsay and just believing everything that you're told unquestionably, because yeah. Thanks for watching.